Ever run a Facebook ad and had a super high click-through rate, but nobody was buying from you? Well, there's a very, very good reason that's happening. And it's one of the biggest mistakes beginning and even intermediate Facebook advertisers make. And it probably has nothing to do with your product. It usually comes down to really three major issues. I'm gonna go into the biggest one in a minute, but let me cover the first two issues quickly because it's basic and often missed.
You want to make more money? Connect with people on an emotional level.
So the first thing that I look at when ads are getting a lot of clicks and no sales is where are we sending people? Specifically the conversion rate, a percentage that expresses the number of conversions you had divided by the people visiting your page or site. So if you're an e-commerce store, that number will be the percentage of people that visited your store and bought, usually about 3% or higher. If it's a webinar registration or a lead magnet, you guessed it, the percentage of people that opted in based on those who have visited the page. So if those numbers are really low, like below 2 to 3%, that's the first problem that I would fix. But the big thing to look at, if you have a high CTR, high click-through rate, like above 1% or so on your ads and no sales, and things are not working, is, am I attracting the wrong people? And this comes right down to the creative, meaning the copy, an image or video you're using. Sometimes people think if the click-through rate is high, the ad is never the problem, right? No, that could not be further from the truth. So how do you make sure your ads are reaching the right people? The Problem Solution Framework. It's a tool that I created. It lets people self-identify themselves based on empathy. So there's two parts to the Problem Solution Framework. This assumes you've got your ideal target customer synced in, okay? I made a whole video on that. There's a link in the upper corner right now. First, we rate how problem aware our avatar is on a scale of 1 to 10, meaning how likely they are to know they even have the problem your product or service solves. Second, we rate how solution aware the avatar is on a scale of 1 to 10. So how aware they are that there's even a solution to the problem. So this allows you to use the golden rule of marketing, my favorite, meet people where they are. The third piece to this is, are you being clear about what you want people to do? Meaning, if you're sending people to register for a webinar or buy something, you should tell them that. Because if you don't, you're gonna get a ton of clicks to your site from people that have no interest in becoming customers whatsoever, which can ruin your entire sales funnel. So you want to create video content and write ad copy that takes people from their current problem and solution-aware state to self-identify that they have that problem and that your product or your webinar or your service is the only solution. I made the perfect video to explain how to market to a cold versus warm audience. You can watch that in the link on the right. Subscribe on the little picture of me on the left if you got value. And if you're interested in learning about working with me more closely, there's a link in the description to see some case studies about my Insiders Club and Mentor program. Okay, see you in the next one.